Hey y'all. If you're a guitar player, you probably know the, or are familiar with at least, the Thin Lizzy cover of Rosalie. But a lot of people haven't heard the actual Bob Seger original version, which is great, I think. Very different, but great. I'm going to go through Bob's version. And just one note, it sounds like open E to me, in the key of B. A couple of things that make me think that. One is, now if you were in standard tuning, you know, your A and your D would be down a full step. You know. So when you're playing the main riff part, Thin Lizzy played it in A and kind of got around this because you do that A suspension. But for doing it in B, which is the way Bob does it, to do the boogie woogie part, the main riff, this part, you'd have to go like this. Now remember, it wouldn't sound like that because the strings would be tuned differently, but that's the position you would do, right? The typical 2 frets up on your pinky on the A string. And when he's doing when you hear the main riff, you also hear this low note, but you also hear the octave of it. So if you were going to do that in standard tuning like this, and still hear that octave up, you'd have to cover the A and the D both, right? And when you go up 2 on the A string, you still have to be able to sound out that D note right there, or the D string right there. Which, when you do it like this, that's just impossible to cover that and cover this at the same time. Impossible. So there's that makes it sound like this. That note is in there. Then there's this part. But he's doing that, it doesn't sound like a full A chord and then hit the 2 bass notes and then down to E. It sounds like he's hitting chords on that, or at least the several strings on the chord. And then lastly, there's the guitar solo, which is done on the other guitar, which sounds like it's standard tuning. So I think this open guitar is just doing the rhythm, the main riff and the rhythm chord. So anyway, that's a long way of saying let's try to go through this without messing it up, right? that's one more example of things you can listen for and try to pick up in here if you're just trying to. That's a pretty simple, basic, rhythm part. But not done the way you would think. In fact, as an exercise, tune to standard tuning. Put on Rosalie, Bob Seger on YouTube and play along with it. But especially in those intro chords, you can really hear. His is tuned properly, of course. You can hear that note in there. And if you're playing it like this, it ain't possible to do that. And he's not doing it here. He's not doing that version of the suspension, which you could do, because you hear the bass note in it. So you can't do it, really, you can't do it, you can't get it to sound that way unless you're... And I do hear him, in terms of the whacking away at it, you do hear that G string going up one fret on the suspension, but to me you barely hear that, and it's mostly. So when I'm picking it, I'm hitting mostly A, D, and a little bit of G in there. That G suspension might be on the other guitar, and they might both be playing different. One doing this, and the other one doing. And together they'll sound it out together. So some mix of the two guitars maybe. But if you're doing a one guitar bar band thing, and then you could pull out a slide and do a solo and slide in this open tuning if you wanted to do it strictly as one guitar. But so good luck with that. So long from Farrah.